Hey guys, Boone down south here. In the upstate of South Carolina, I know hurricane came through. We finally got our power back. Fortunately, we've really been blessed. Nobody in my family had any major damage to vehicles, cars, buildings, people. So we were blessed for that. There's a lot of people in a lot worse shape. But upstate South Carolina took a good hit on that storm, and we've got trees down all over the place. It took several days just to clear the roads. Finally got power back. I got so many trees down through the woods and everything and around the property that I got to start getting them cleaned up. So, I've got a John Deere tractor, a compact utility tractor. It's like a 32 horse, and I can move trees with it and stuff, but as far as lifting them up and moving around, it's kind of difficult. So did a quick look through Amazon, and I found these forks here. This it's made by YITAMOTOR. I don't know. I know it's some Chinese thing probably, but it was like $250 to fit the 5-foot bucket. It's supposed to support 4,000 pounds, but I think it's going to make it a lot easier to clear a lot of these trees. So I'm just going to kind of review this as we go on. So that's that. So stick around, hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, I got it out of the package and got it mounted. It only took about 10 minutes or so. They are pretty darn heavy. When I ordered it, said it was going to be like another week, but by God, it showed up in 2 days, even with the storm. So that's pretty amazing. But basically, they just slide over. If you kind of look, they slide over the end of your bucket, and this metal rod kind of clamps it in place down there, tighten it up like that. And we're going to try this out and just see how well it does. But you kind of see this on a I got a 320R loader on here with a heavy duty bucket, and this is a 3033R John Deere. So anyway, I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. Okay guys, again, after Hurricane Helene, we got a bunch of little piles of debris brush, and then we got tons of stuff. This is my father-in-law's place. That's why I bought the forks. And again, I bought on 2 points. One was price, and the other was how fast they could get them to me. I'll show you some clips of what I have to do when I get done with this. This is very mild compared to what I have to do at my property. In my hunting woods, and I'll just run through some clips through there. Massive trees down. So again, these forks support 4,000 pounds, but I will not be lifting 4,000 pounds with this 3033R, so I'm not worried about that. But it should lift anything that my tractor can handle on these forks. So we're gonna try a couple things here with these debris forks. We got some small piles. We're gonna see how they scoop up, how well it scoops up without having to get the the manual labor in there with the rakes. I'm sure we'll have to do some of that, but usually you're loading stuff in buckets, you're using rakes, somebody's trying to push it in and stuff. But these forks might get up under those piles, and I might be able to lift it up and pop a lot of it in without having to put a lot of manual labor into it. And then obviously this bigger stuff is just going to make it a whole lot easier to pick up than just try to get on the bucket itself. It's really hard to do that with just the bucket.
So the first thing I learned is you can't float the bucket with the debris forks on. There's a bar that's kind of underneath as it hugs your lip, so it actually tilts the forks up a little bit, and then it digs into the ground. So floating the bucket's really not an option, unless you're in just an area where you don't care about tearing up the yard. So now with these small piles too, you're still gonna need somebody to help rake stuff in the bucket. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's not gonna get all that small stuff. It's gonna fall through the forks. But for these bigger pieces, you don't need a second person anymore, because with just a bucket, you'd have to kind of balance it on that bucket. With these forks, now I can just kind of scoop up and pick this stuff up. So it's just a time saver. I carry so much more on these debris forks than I could if I was just using the bucket, and it just saves a lot of time. The other thing they're really good at is just kind of pulling these big piles apart, because you can't really do that with a bucket. You gotta put your bucket over and try to drag things out, and things are intertwined, and kind of get them forks in there and pull this stuff loose. Again, there's just no way I could have picked up this tree like that without the forks. There's just no way. You might have had 2 people try to get it balanced on your bucket maybe, but that was a heavier tree, freshly cut from the power crew that came through because it was too close to the power lines they were working on. But no way to do it without the forks. The forks are just a time saver.
All right, guys, this is like a lot of the stuff that we brought up today using those debris forks. You can kind of see this is all damaged from Hurricane Helene, and not this entire pile over here, but a good portion of it I brought up as well. But you can see how much debris we had, and then just a fraction of it, to be honest with you. But it would have took me 4 to 5 times as long without these debris forks. They held up very well. So there's one little thing I found about. I'm gonna show you that in just a second here. So the only thing is this got bent, and quite honestly, the only reason I think this here is just to give you leverage when you're tightening it up. Maybe you're supposed to not even leave them in there. I just left them in there, and I guess as you're moving your bucket up and down, it's sliding in and out. And I was moving some pretty big trees earlier. So that's one thing. Maybe you want to just take this out, but I got to tell you, this thing has done remarkably well. Saved me like 4 to 5 times. I saved on just a time saving. It would have taken me 4 to 5 times longer doing what I did today. This evening I was out trying to push some trees down, some big stuff that's blocking a bunch of my trails, like I showed you in some of the earlier pictures, and no problems with this thing at all. All right, in fact, guys, on some of my trails in the woods, I mean, I've got some big trees branched out. I mean, big, tall stuff interwoven between other trees laying across the trails. You know, some of them 10, 15 foot high. And I was pushing with my forks, moving things around with these debris forks, with the bucket, and using the forks. And I was pushing so hard. Here's something you can do with a tractor sometimes. If you're pushing a heavy weight and your wheel gets turned too much, if the tractor's strong enough, it will take that wheel and just pop it right off the bead. And I knew exactly what I did. Pop this tire off the beads. There's enough force, this tractor going forward with those forks on these trees, pushing this stuff, that the forks are great, but I end up popping the tire off the beads. So I do think they're going to handle whatever you throw at them. They've done a great job for me. I am very happy with this purchase, y'all. So just throwing that out. I know there's a lot of people in this situation. It's got a lot of cleanup to do from this hurricane. And if you want to do something that helps speed you up, if you got some property you need to clean up, get a set of debris forks for your tractor. They come in a 48-inch model and a 60-inch model. This is a 60-inch model from a 5-foot bucket that I got. Again, I think it was $249 on Amazon. It was shipped to me in 2 days, y'all. You know, I've been able to start taking care of some of this stuff and take care of some other people's around me, some of the neighbors, and try to help them out with stuff, get stuff to the road, because the county's going to be cleaning up all the debris from the hurricane alongside the road. So was able to do all that, and time saver, y'all. So they've held up. I'm happy. Just want to give you that update, and hopefully I'm going to get back to some hunting here soon, as soon as I get the rest of these trails cleared into my woods and I can access my tree stands. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.